Hello everyone, welcome back to Airdash Academy. Now that we've covered how to look at various chain options, let's examine how to use the chain system to produce effective pressure. Because no chain can last forever, you'll need to add some decision making into it. First of all, you need to start looking at key points in pressure. These key points are like mix-ups, where the attacker creates a gap on purpose, but can mix between two kinds. The first is a big, real gap, which will allow the attacker to reset their offense and start a new chain to gain their options back, and maybe even move forward to improve their position, which was worsened by the pushback created from the moves done prior to the gap. We already covered that closer equals better, so successfully advancing forward while continuing to attack is a good reward. So the big, real gap beats blocking and waiting, since it resets the momentum but loses to interruptions. The second option is a small, fake gap. This does not give you enough time to get closer again, or to start a new chain, so it loses to blocking and waiting, but it punishes interruptions with the threat of guaranteed damage if the opponent tries to press buttons. This mix between the two options is all it really comes down to in order to enforce effective pressure. But just as important is knowing the situations where your character can create these opportunities. Where are the critical points in your chains? The easiest way to identify such points is to look for moves that offer frame advantage on block. Soul has 2p plus 2 on block, and 2s plus 3 on block. Jam has a lot of normals like these to help her maintain pressure once she finally gets in. Venom lacks such normals, but has plenty of special moves that leave him at frame advantage on block. Chit has 2p and close S. Axel has 5k, close S, 3p, and 6h. The next thing to look for are fast moves that leave you at a small enough disadvantage, like Soul's 2k, which is -1 on block. Why does this work as well? Because by the time the opponent can react to the fact that Soul didn't immediately cancel 2k into a different move, the period to utilize the -1 frame disadvantage has already passed. In fact, Soul is able to recover and start the next attack before the opponent can react. So to utilize such moves as if they give real frame advantage, you'll need to keep the opponent honest with normal chain cancels and, if possible, delayed ones. Delaying your cancels and block strings makes the different possible situations less distinguishable from each other. So when you are learning your character's routes, make sure to check the last possible moment you can cancel a move into the next. You might be somewhat familiar with all the above tactics already, because many of the moves mentioned also don't have a lot of pushback, so not only are they good for pressure, but also good to set up throws, which combine elegantly with the aforementioned 2-gap mix-up. Moving on, the next method to maintain pressure is to find normals that you can jump cancel on block. This can easily allow you to advance forward and negate the natural pushback, and while every jump cancel into aerial approach attempt, real gap, can be easily countered if it's predicted, continuing a chain instead of jump canceling, fake gap, will provide the threat you need to slip in that instant air dash once in a while. That's it for today's episode. Subscribe and tune in for the next episode where we'll cover other important concepts.